Hello friends, welcome to Symbaroum. This is a TTRPG system and setting created by Free League Publishing. It is a dark fantasy, spooky things. There's cursed ruins and magic items, and our DM is Obdurant. Please take it away.
Yes, hello and welcome back to Symbaroum. We left off last session in the evening as darkness was beginning to fall, with our party in various states of disrepair around a sort of watering hole in a black copse of trees in the scrubland of the Bayaga territory. There are two dead elk in the smashed remains of a pair of glints, which you had set out to destroy. So you've succeeded in your endeavor, but you are looking very much the worst for wear. And this is where we can pick right back up.
All right.
Everything hurts.
How
Araga.
far? We were like 2 days away, aren't we?
You are 2 days of travel away from the makeshift camp.
Do we know of any other places of respite nearby?
No, not really. Araga is familiar with the area a little more so than you are, just because she has done travel more through here than the rest of the woods, as your hunter has taken to doing. That said, where you are right now is kind of, or has been regarded as a rest spot, sort of, in that it has a source of water. There's a bit of shelter to be found, and that was certainly part of the reason that Efrenea sent you out in the first place, to clear it out, because it couldn't be used until the glint infestation was taken care of.
All right. Well, Chorus is going to tell Araga to get the bodies together and start building a fire while he tries to check on Chorus.
On
Dati?
Checks on course.
on Dati?
Dati. Yeah, he checks on himself first because, if the doctor passes out, then the patient's fucked.
Ensure that your own life vest is securely attached for helping other passengers or something like that.
Make sure
Anyway.
to remove the glint from your own throat before assisting others.
Araga shall do as she is instructed. Although she probably offers a...
Sassy comment.
Absolutely. You're short.
Very sassy.
Low
sassy.
effort.
Listen,
Totally.
she just had like a concussion and like things tried flying at her face. And
Did I go down that fight? I know Araga.
everyone went down at one
Everyone
point.
went down, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
not everyone.
Yeah, the badger didn't.
True.
Grotto did not.
Yeah, that.
All the players went down.
I
Okay.
mean, are we sure that the badger isn't the player character and that Dati is the pet?
For now we are, yes. So, Araga collects the elk, kind of builds a pyre, and starts burning them atop it to ensure that there's no, larva or similar that can end up threatening you in the future. How does Chorus take care of Dati?
I think by first just trying to check the outside of the throat and then try to get what vision they can on the inside non-invasively.
Mm-hmm. And is Dati still unconscious right now, or has she woken up? This is kind of your discretion.
I suppose that she's probably unconscious for the moment, given the nature of the horribly traumatic nature of the injury.
Okay.
What, just because you had knives ripped out of your throat?
Yeah.
You can't really see any direct damage on the outside of the throat, but you can see under the skin there's blotchy bruises, there's discoloration where blood has kind of filled the flesh. Her neck looks a little swollen. it's in a very bad way. And when Chorus tries to get a look inside, you can just see that there's residual blood. There's clearly damage, although you can't really get a good look at it. And it is certainly a challenging thing to care for.
Can I see like active bleeding, or is Dati look like at the risk of choking?
All right, listen, I'm not a doctor, so.
Well,
If
any
she
of
call
that.
up your brother, are her lungs currently?
Yeah, call my
filled with
brother.
her
Hang
own
on,
blood?
let me call Jeff. Hey, bro, say there was a parasite that just ate the inside of your throat. How would someone not be dead in this situation?
Well, I was holding my breath the entire time he was describing that because I felt like it was a breath away from him saying, and there's a larva.
Oh, yeah. No, fortunately not. Fortunately, no larva to be seen. It doesn't look like she's actively bleeding right now. I mean, obviously, she has saliva and such, and that's mixing with what blood's in there to kind of have a nasty spread, but she looks quote-unquote stable. Although she probably won't be talking for quite a while, which is ironic.
I think Chorus is going to go around and gather, like, he's not medically adept, but he knows, like, herbs that are good and herbs that are bad. And he's going to go around and gather some good herbs and try to make, like, a tea for when Dati wakes up.
Okay. Absolutely. You can go right ahead. There's ample water that appears to be clean. The foliage in the area and the selection of herbs is quite limited. But you're able to find a little bit to work with, and you can make what might be something of a soothing tea. You hope. You're comforted by the fact that if it isn't, Dati isn't going to be able to really say anything. So,
Yeah,
so
for
the
once
bodies
we
are
don't
taken
have to
care of.
listen to her.
And the evening passes that way. Are you going to spend the night here as a group to rest?
It makes the most sense because when we had first come towards this area, we had seen very little signs of things passing through.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
we also probably don't have the, like, physical strength to go look for a better area.
Yeah. This would probably be our best bet. And perhaps the fire of burning the bodies the smoke will
It could
deter
attract
anything.
people, but it will spook animals.
Yeah, for sure.
Dati will probably intermittently wake as a fire is made and mostly roll onto her side to express awareness and spit up probably more blood throughout the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chorus tells her not to get up.
Yeah, she just rolls onto her side to make spitting up blood easier.
If you feel like you can drink later, he lifts a pot of custom tea.
Dati will extend a hand outwards.
He will take one of the small, like, cups from the cooking set they have and fill it up and hand it out.
Not the special china.
We ain't
Dati
got
takes
no
it
special china. We're
Yeah.
poor as fuck.
slowly and sets the cup down and passes out again.
-1 hit point for hot water.
Stop.
Oh, minus. Is there anything that Araga or Chorus want to discuss or do in the evening before they turn in?
Probably take turns having watch just in
Having
case.
watched? Yeah, of course.
He'd probably discuss whether or not she thinks that there might be more around, or if that they potentially got the rest.
Before we go to bed, then, Araga will scout out the immediate area to see if there's might be any signs of other animals other than these deer that we were fighting. elk, I mean. Because if it's spread to the elk, then there might be other creatures, but her gut feeling says that these are probably the extent of the reproduction of the glint. So she looks around for evidence of other animals? Question mark.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your vigilant. Given the time of day, probably -2.
Oh, that's great.
Can Chorus do that in the opposite direction, but more of like looking for small game for potentially a hungry badger bear to eat?
Yeah. For small game, it would probably be a more stark penalty, so like -3.
I will roll the draft. Oh, big
So,
fail.
neither of you are able to find anything. You do spend some time looking, but as you discovered earlier, signs of game and wildlife in general is scant at best. And with the darkness setting in and just the fatigue that you're feeling after the struggle, you certainly don't find anything beyond what you've already discovered. So that is reassuring in one way. You can draw a conjecture that there are no further glint carriers in the area, or maybe you just can't find them.
Araga goes the fuck to sleep.
Kory, how is Bonko doing?
Bonko?
Yeah.
Yes. Grotto, while you two were failing your bushcraft rolls, Grotto succeeded in her bushcraft roll of shoving her head into a pack and eating the rations available there.
How many rations
your pack
did
then?
Grotto eat?
Yeah, I'd just assume a day's worth.
Okay, alright. Not a gluttonous Grotto
yeah.
then?
Yeah.
There wasn't enough meat there for
I
her to be
mean,
like really
yeah.
into it.
Cheese is not the usual food, you know.
Definitely. Alright, great. Yeah, so Grotto partakes in a ration. And
-1 ration.
splitting the watch half and half, Araga and Chorus join Dati in resting. So we will move on. Well, actually,
Oh, God.
let's have a discrete roll from each of you at +4.
But so literally, unless I double critical fail.
Oh god.
Okay, great. Yeah. So nothing is drawn to this pyre of burning flesh that kind of stands out. You are fortunately able to enjoy a night of rest.
Yay, 1 hit
All of you
point.
can recover a hit point and resume in the morning.
Alright, we need to do that 8 more times.
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I mean, we're just gonna go back down to 1 hit point. Like, you're living the Pekome lifestyle. I don't get used to having help.
Shit. As morning rolls around, Araga will kick out the fire and begin to pack up things and looks over to Chorus, cants her head towards where Dotty's laying and say, you think that one will be fit for travel?
He goes over and pokes Dottie in the thigh with a bolt.
With a what?
With a bolt?
A bolt?
Yeah.
Like a crossbow bolt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which end?
The pointy end. Like, he's not stabbing you, he's just poking.
Yeah, I know. Dottie will almost immediately stir, though with an unpleasant cough, and start to sit up. She spits out probably what is now only pinkish saliva. And she'll kind of just look upwards.
Can you travel?
she'll kind of gesture for a hand.
He'll hold his hand out.
She'll leverage herself up.
And then
Well,
we
yeah, let's set off.
Okay, so if you choose to set off, I would say you can still essentially travel at the same pace as you come out. It's just far less comfortable. But you're just gonna head back towards Ephranea's camp.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So that will be 2 days of travel. We'll just start out with the default roll, so just a flat discrete from whoever is charting the course.
Hey, Araga, you wanna chart the course real quick?
So you want to go that way, point?
Oh, she almost pointed me in the wrong direction.
Okay. Excellent. The first day is tiring and it's long, but fortunately it is peaceful. As you leave the semi-oasis in the scrubland, once again, the three of you are traveling on pretty dead land. The terrain is broken and there's clay, there's mud, there's very little growth in the area. The trees that you do come across are spindly. And it's kind of a reflection of probably how you feel right now, minus the glory of success or whatnot. Things are a little rough. But the day passes and you make good progress, and you do not encounter so much as even tracks along the way. Towards the end of the day, the foliage does begin to become a little more full. There's some green, some coloration from flowers to be found here or there as you make your way back towards a more fruitful portion of the forest.
We've got fruit boys.
Should we make our bushcraft rolls for the second half of the travel?
Yeah, absolutely.
-10 for Dati.
Actually, -2 for Dati, because she's got about 2 days without smoking herself into unconsciousness.
Ooh, Araga's gonna get food for all of us.
At one point during the travel, Grotto charges off into the bush and starts smashing into a log.
Okay.
With its head.
No, with claws. And then there's a swarm of bees that are very rudely attempting to murder themselves and Grotto, but they can't really do anything, and Grotto eats an entire hive's worth of bees and honey.
Oh, poor bees. Okay. Yeah, and Araga is able to find some berries. She maybe runs them past a companion before eating them, and it turns out they are not poisonous,
Excellent.
which is good. And Chorus can't find anything. He was searching for berries
The problem is
pretty
he has
close
to
to
keep...
where Grotto ripped into the hive, and then he just had to run away to keep from getting attacked by an angry swarm of homeless bees.
Rip. Just imagine being in your bee home and then suddenly a giant badger bear rips the walls off.
Claws into it and starts eating all your honey. That's rough, man. That's rough. World is ruthless.
It is pretty painful for them, and potentially almost painful for Chorus, and not at all painful for Grotto.
Yeah. Grotto's just like, oh.
Free honey.
All right.
It's always
yeah,
Dark
so
Davokar, wherever the Biorgorn bears go.
yeah. Oh, that would be bad. All right, so yeah, your first day of travel is, a little slow and painful, but uneventful. You manage to get supplies, minus Chorus, who will have to dip into some rations for food, and you can rest again, get another point back of whatever you want.
Hit points.
I'm gonna eat a bread.
Gotta eat some cheese.
I'll eat these
and smokes
berries.
herself into oblivion.
Also,
Or
Kory,
yes.
Chorus took the liberty of filling your canteen with the tea water.
Oh, that's helpful, I assume. And if it's not helpful, Dottie takes it anyway. As
It's
she is
not
nice.
helpful. Good fuck.
Now, smoking for Dottie is probably quite unpleasant.
Oh yeah, there's lots of
Definitely a necessity thing, so she probably soldiers on through. But
yeah. No, if normally there are a couple coughs here and there, in this
Yeah.
case, there are a bunch of loud coughs throughout the entire thing.
And I don't know if you've ever had like a really bad cough that has lasted for days when your throat's sore, but it can get to the point where like each time you cough, it just sends this searing pain all along the back of your throat.
Yeah.
But you can't stop yourself from coughing, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you're dreading a cough, and then it happens, and it hurts, and then it's going to keep happening. That's kind of the life Dottie's living right now,
Yeah.
We're not,
particularly when she's eating or drinking or smoking.
we're not all you, Kevin. We don't have a cough for 3 months after we're done with a cold.
At least
9
it wasn't
months?
right now. Okay, so that's the next day, and this night passes quietly. So the second half of your travel back to Ephranea's camp, go ahead and roll discreet -1.
I don't wanna. Can we just say we made it discreetly?
We made it discreetly, and then we won the campaign.
There you go. You did, in fact, make it discreetly. So you travel, and by mid-afternoon, really, you are back on familiar enough ground that, of course, doesn't need any instruction on which direction to head. This is the land that he was sort of moodily, antisocially hunting in when he didn't want to get bullied by Araga during the week that people were recovering. So, within another hour or so, the camp comes into view, and it's quite broken down compared to what it was earlier. Not in terms of damage, but just in terms of people have removed most of the tents that they had set up. A lot of the more semi-permanent structures have been packed up, and it looks like the group is getting ready to travel. And also, it looks like perhaps 1 to 2 dozen of the hunters that you had seen pass in and out of camp are now just missing.
Can you use a less ominous word?
Missing, yeah, absent. Disappeared, vanished.
Dead.
Not dead. Yeah, but when you come into view, at least one of the hunters that remain, who's been keeping watch on the area, spots you and kind of casually lifts a hand in welcome, and doesn't look very concerned or on edge at all. As you draw closer, he'll kind of shout out towards Araga and begin bantering with her about how awful they all look, and like they should be dead instead of walking.
There's a lot of complaining and pointing over her shoulder at Chorus as she.
Mm-hmm.
How can you tell
He
if she
sounds
looks
very
any worse
sympathetic.
than normal?
Does Kory say that?
Yes, 100%.
He laughs uproariously at that.
Nice.
Uh,
I've won him over.
Dottie merely soldiers along in silence, given her current terrible state.
Would
Oh, go ahead.
Araga know where the hunters have gone?
Has she asked anyone? Not.
Is this like a
Just by
normal
herself.
thing?
I mean, it's not unusual for groups to depart now and then. It does look like far more people than you would be familiar with ordinarily heading out have done so. But I mean,
Yeah, to the one that she's talking to, is there a big hunt afoot? Where is everyone?
he just flashes a wide grin at that question. He goes, "There is. it's a hunt for Ambrians. And he'll kind of nod over towards Dati as she's shuffling by or whatever. We'll go, Ephronea sent a number out to take care of that settlement they told us about, to root out any other Ambrians that are still lurking in the trees. We don't want their kind or their foolish rituals on our grounds.
Araga gives a thumbs up and shuffles in towards the settlement.
Dati gives a mild nod of approval and slumps after.
Kory keeps alongside Dati.
Yeah, and Ephronea will appear as you sort of enter the camp proper. She steps out of her tent, which is still erected, although some of the trappings around it, this skeletal, winding, snake-like body that had been draped outside as sort of this sign of office or a trophy is gone. It's just the bare structure now. And you can see a couple packs on the outside that are half filled up. But as she steps out, she flashes a bright smile at Araga and at Dati and Chorus, and she'll go, the three of you look awful.
That's it. Conversation over.
We've successfully hunted down the glint.
There were two.
Yeah, she kind of gives a sort of an appreciative widening of her eyes at the statement that excuse me.
That's Dati.
Yeah, Kevin just really wanted to show off what he was describing earlier.
Okay, so she widens her eyes a little bit at the mention that there are two, and then smiles, and she'll clap Araga on the shoulder and say, "I knew that you'd be able to take care of it, and that is a shadow the tribe will no longer have to worry over."
Now, if you'll excuse me, Iron Bear, I'm going to go find some drink. She's gonna shuffle off towards where there's food and stuff to shove in her face.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's still the clan kitchen area, cooking area, I should say, that's up, and plenty of food to take part in.
Where are the Ambrians?
Yeah, so actually, as Chorus asks that, Amila will appear from one of the nearby tents at the sound of conversation, and when she sees Dati and Chorus, she'll scamper on over. She looks pretty excited to see them, far more comfortable in the area probably than you recall her being when you headed out, and she has sort of a few colored strands that you've seen some of the clans wearing now woven into her own hair. She looks pretty excited in general, and she goes like, "Oh, I'm really glad that you came back. Or you look kind of." Jeez, my throat is not.
Man,
working.
okay?
Dati, drink the tea already.
But she'll be like, "Oh, I'm excited that you made it back. Are you okay? Dati looks bad."
We're fine. It's worse than it looks. Just a couple of beasties we had to take care of.
Fine. Dati agrees.
She winces at Dotti's kind of rasp, but
sore throat.
she
Cover.
seems pretty relieved. Nevertheless, and she nods, and then she kind of excitedly describes that she's been learning something from someone whose name you don't recognize, and she kind of darts off again.
Man, if only Araga was still here.
Only Araga was still here.
Araga's busily tearing meat off of a haunch and
Eating, man.
yeah, it's sloppy, it's noisy,
Is
bits
Ephronea
going
still
everywhere.
Ephronea is still with you, yeah. And as Emil heads out, she actually says, They're doing well. They're taking to the life better than I expected. Her mother has woken and is beginning to find her footing once again.
Told you.
Chorus will nod at Ephronea's remark more than what Dati said.
Dati gives an agreeable nod and then gives Grotto a smack on the butt and points over at where the other semi-tamed Baayagorns hang out.
And a singular donkey.
I don't think the donkey is there, but nevertheless, she sends Grotto off to socialize with her own kind, which, if you've ever seen a bear sulk, I haven't, but this bear sulks as she goes off, because she is the smallest of the semi-tamed Baayagorns, and turns out when you're the smallest of the semi-tamed Baayaga, then sometimes you get bullied by the large one that eats bunches of meat and stuffs her face with all the meat.
Hey, just like Chorus and Araga.
Yeah, just like them.
Yeah.
You know, the Grotto may be the tiniest, but they've got the biggest skull.
The thickest skull, anyway. So, Ephronea watches sort of the interaction a little bit, and then she'll look back to Chorus and to Dati. And once Dati has spoken to Amila, she kind of takes a little closer stock of the other woman, and is examining kind of the state of her throat and with that rasp. And it's clear that she kind of understands what Dati's been through, although she doesn't really say anything. Instead, she asks, "What plans do you have next? You came to us seeking for the Ambrians to receive shelter, and you've earned it. And my hunters are taking care of the rest of your other task, for that settlement will be no more. So what next for the Iron Pact?"
Chorus also looks questioningly at Dati.
Have to find out. Travel.
She
Chorus
nods at that.
still looks questioningly at Dati.
You can come.
Does
What?
Chorus react to that at all?
Chorus still doesn't actually know what Dati's saying.
Yeah. Stella does not know what Dati's saying.
Really?
Dati said, "We need to find out, travel," and then Chorus looked at her and she said, "You can come."
I'm just impressed that 1 out of 3 of you.
No, I heard all the words. Chorus doesn't know
Understood.
what the fuck you said.
Oh, okay.
Go
Wow.
on, Dati.
Dati will get a bit closer. We're leaving soon. You can come.
He just shrugs at that, as if that wasn't the part that was in doubt. Unfortunately, Dati, you're stuck with me for as long as I see fit.
Dati looks partly doubtful at that, but if ever she would have spent any time retorting to it, this time she does not.
It's because of the throat, right?
Yes, probably.
I knew it was because of the throat.
She will kind of get a gauge as to it's a little torn down. Is everyone tearing things down?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are obviously some places that are more necessary before the group actually sets out. For instance, the cooking areas and some of the sleeping quarters, but almost all of the workstations have been packed up. And all across the camp, you see signs of people getting ready to move. So it's pretty clear that Ephranea's group is not going to be staying here for much longer.
Mhm.
Ephranea, for her part, when you've had that conversation, kind of lets out this guttural laugh. She says, "Well, I don't know about living on someone's leash like that, but I hope your travels fare well. We'll be leaving here in a few days. We have more hunting grounds to seek out, but you're welcome to stay with us until we go, or to leave now. You've certainly earned your place among us for the time being."
Thank you. And then Dati will probably head towards where everyone is eating.
Okay.
Chorus will halt and question Ephranea if any of the healers are still around to look at Dati.
She cocks her head to the side and peers at Chorus for a little bit, then looks over to where Dottie's shape is disappearing into the throng near the campfires. And she'll say, "Oh yes, well, the healers are certainly around, but her wounds are a difficult sort to treat. I'll ask if any have an interest in trying."
He'll nod at that, knowing better than to press the point. And head off.
Okie dokes.
Time to be antisocial.
Oh yeah, is he just, when you say head off, is he leaving? Is
He just
gonna
turned
go
around
skulk
and
into
went to the
forest?
other side.
Very nice.
Araga will continue talking shit, eating food, enjoying drink, recuperating slowly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, towards the evening, which is only, an hour or two later after all this has taken place, you will see one of the healers that you might recall from having cared for you when you collectively arrived, unconscious. So, really, the last time you arrived, you looked worse than you do now, um, which is an accomplishment, I think, in its own right.
It is, given we arrived unconscious last time.
Right? Yeah. But it's the man from the three. He's kind of a skeletal looking older man, but he clearly has the sinewy strength, and his eyes are pretty full of vigor. And he'll come over and seek Dottie out, and he has a bowl in one of his hands. And he'll just come up next to her and he'll say, "Ephranea told me that you were assailed while clearing out the glint infestation. You did good, and I will help you."
Dati gives
Okay.
a questioning look to the bowl and
Yes.
extends a hand.
So the bowl has a couple leaves draped over it that kind of conceal the contents. And if she extends a hand, he lowers the bowl, but not so much to pass it over as to give her a view of it. And he pulls back the leaves, and there are what look like
Legion.
larvae of some kind. They're these
Close.
kind of white-skinned pupa, I guess is actually pupae.
So they're very maggoty.
I blame
Yeah.
you, V. Oh my
They
god.
look like large maggots, like maybe an inch thick and 3 inches or so long.
Stella's well versed in medical uses for maggots.
Oh my god. I hate
Dati looks over them questioningly, and Mime's just picking one up and plopping it right on her tongue.
He nods.
Dati no longer mimes that, but actually does it. And looks questioningly
As
to
she
it.
picks it up, he's going to say, "Do not chew, just swallow."
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and go ahead and roll a 1d6.
Okay.
Temporary corruption.
Permanent corruption.
Oof.
Okay, yeah, so as this sort of creature is swallowed / wriggles down your throat, you feel a very numbing sensation, and it's accompanied by a sensation of relief. However gross the feeling of actually doing this is, the contact with the body of this being soothes the inflamed and ravaged skin of your throat, and you do recover 2 hit points as a result.
Yo, what? Can I get one of those?
Wow, that's a pretty quick reversal over there from the peanut gallery.
Wait, it heals.
Araga's gonna need like 2 of them.
And yeah, he'll put the leaf back over the bowl and say, "You don't want to eat many of these, but it will help." And then he'll just kind of wander off again.
Araga eats the entire bowl.
Just upends it like a bowl of cereal.
Oof.
How do you eat cereal?
Upending it?
Do you not?
Yeah, she pours the
Oh,
whole bowl of
normally
cereal
I
in her mouth, and then
Yeah.
she pours milk in.
I like that gif.
Yeah, I've seen more than one of those.
Yeah.
It always ends the same way.
Anything else this evening that the 3 of you get up to?
I suppose it would make sense as a seasoned fighter warrior that after I've enjoyed myself with food and drink to seek out someone to give me bandages.
Or maggot things to eat.
Or maggot? Nah, probably more like bandages.
Yeah. So Araga, it certainly has the connections to do so. However, at this point, any further healing or bandages or supplies you get will be purchased rather than free. That said, due to the favor you have done to the band and also to your membership in the band, any supplies you guys want to pick up here, at least right now, will be at half cost.
Bear
Hey,
traps?
Alright, I'm gonna need some herbal cures.
5 bear traps?
Still no trapper here that uses metal rot traps. Kind of a barbaric thing to do.
We're barbarians!
Yeah, but to the barbarians, Ambrians are barbaric. Their disregard for nature.
How much for bandages and 2 herbal cures?
Oh my goodness. Good question.
2 of each.
Isn't an herbal cure 1 thaler?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it's 2 for 1.
Equipment.
I've been broke for all this time.
Is there a way
herbal
that
cures are 1
Araga
thaler,
could... Okay.
and bandages are 5 ortegs.
Okay. Perfect. Is there a way that Araga can seduce one of the healers?
Is there?
Like,
Like,
hold on.
winky
You-
face, heal me.
Okay, so
Would
you're
you
not
like
just
to,
trying to seduce them, you're trying to seduce them into healing you for free.
You won't see my scars.
Oh my god.
Hey,
I'll let you bandage my wounds.
You can absolutely try this,
Oh
yeah.
my god. No, I wasn't. Okay,
Please-
alright, what
Please
do I roll?
critically fail or critically
Alright,
succeed.
so you're gonna roll your persuasion
Oh,
against their
fuck.
resolute.
Oh no.
So it'll be It'll be a persuasion -1 test.
I'm already at 5.
Oof, they're not disposed to you.
But I'm hot in a.
It's very clear that you want something from them.
I mean, I'm the type of woman that looks like I always want something, okay? So I
Araga's
feel like-
only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
That's why your persuasion is 5.
Alright. Think small numbers, chat.
22.
Oh!
Wow.
Alright, do it again.
Oh my god. Please. Oh, internet dice gods. I don't care if you kill my character later today. I just want to succeed on this one right now, right here. Oh,
Oof,
so
no
close.
boyfriend.
Really close.
Oh my god.
You do not critically succeed, but you do succeed. So you're able to find one of the healers
Think.
of the tribe. Probably one of the ones that you've gone hunting with now or then, so you're familiar with each other to an extent. And they're probably somewhat used to Araga's disposition, so it's less grating than it might be for just a normal person.
I've got some
And-
new scars. Would you like to see them?
And yeah, sometimes lines like that just work. So maybe their eyes roll a little bit, but they are convinced to give Araga's scars a thorough examination and a little bit of care.
Hell
This is
yeah.
how Stella forces Kevin out of the room.
So you can roll a
1d6.
Well,
You didn't eat the slug.
yeah, you didn't need a slug. I'd say like a 1d4 for healing.
Oh my fucking. I deserve
Alright.
it.
Well,
I
you
deserve
do
it.
get 1 point
I
of
mean,
of
you did
free
want to roll
healing.
1 earlier, didn't you?
Yeah. You said think low numbers, and you never told them not to.
Yeah, your whole stream is still thinking low numbers for you. Okay. Yeah. So Dati is being healed with slugs. Arga is being healed by her healer friend that she has seduced. What is Chorus up to in the sort of the evening hours?
Performing maintenance on his large crossbow that he's used to block many attacks.
Yeah. So this crossbow is definitely beyond Chorus's comprehension in terms of how the mechanisms work. So maintenance would certainly be restricted more to the like mundane aspects of it, if that makes sense. Like the loading mechanism and the stock are probably just wild arcane magic almost.
I think he'd be focusing more on the like wood paneling and the string.
Yeah, so you can polish the wood up, get rid of some splinters, maybe put a new guts, a new thing. What do you call that? Bowstring, but crossbow string into place.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I think that's very thematic. Yeah, so he's, skulking in a tree off in the clearing in the darkness, like up on the branches, just fixing his crossbow while other people are having fun. Anything
Hey,
else going on?
How do you know that's not fun?
Regarding spending money,
Yeah.
Dati would probably buy. She's probably going to spend a lot of thalers here.
Okay.
Given their dire state and the fact that they have traveling ahead of them.
Yeah.
The thalers aren't worth anything to her.
There was
compared
one
to-
thaler.
Yeah, if you die,
So
you can't
she
take them
will
with you.
probably be buying multiple antidotes and many herbal cures.
Okay. Now antidotes do come in weak, moderate, and strong levels.
Yeah, we're gonna. Actually, here's an actual serious question.
Yeah.
Our major source of coming across that will be meerkats. What works against a meerkat effectively versus only partly?
I will tell you in a second when I look at meerkats. So the way antidotes work is they'll basically like reduce things.
Reduced by 1
So
to
you
nothing.
can always get some use out of an antidote,
yeah.
even if it doesn't nullify something. As for mare cats, they inflict what category are they? Should just be under beasts. Okay, meerkats have poisonous 1, so they will be inflicting a weak poison on you.
Okay. She is going to spend all 10.5 of her thaler on antidotes, herbal cures, and food.
And a missile
good.
battery.
To split between everyone. She'll buy, if this is all still half price, right?
It is.
Yeah.
There is like a limit to how much they have to offer.
Right.
I'm actually trying to find that right now.
Okay.
Because there is like an actual size, like town size, for how much you can get.
Okay, that's
somewhere.
cool. I am absolutely happy to wait, and because that's a really cool system to have.
Stop brown nosing the DM.
No, I'm not brown nosing the DM. I'm brown nosing Free Lagan, formerly known as Järnringen.
Gosh, can't for the life of me find where this table is. It seems like it would be right here, but
Jacob the cat.
Meow.
Do you want to see Sweet Thing?
No.
He does. He's rolling by the door and roaring.
Rrrr.
He's a good boy.
Wonder if it was actually.
Satisfactory Update 3 now out. Introducing the world of fluids.
What?
Stay in character.
Oh,
Kory.
sorry.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that, I guess, because I'm having trouble finding it on a quick scan.
We allow your cat shenanigans, but not your video game shenanigans.
Okay.
But you can just chart out what you want, and we'll just nix it as needed.
Okay.
When I find this, but so that we
I
can
will.
keep moving.
Send it over to you.
Yeah, you can just put it in the group channel. Would be best.
Yeah.
Does this part of the tribe have a Fletcher?
A Fletcher, yes.
Can I attempt to trade my 2 hammerhead bolts for different specialty arrows?
They do not have specialty arrows here. For crossbows, anyway. Because those are metal. The bolts are metal, aren't they?
Oh.
I assume they are.
They usually are to survive the extra force.
Mm-hmm. So for that, you would need, like, basically a blacksmith, I think.
Alright, so we'll never get specialty arrows. Got it.
Well, I don't think that's a sure thing.
On Ambrians,
What about Ambrians?
count them
Well,
for their
also-
bolts.
Oh, yeah.
aha.
Mhm.
Also, the elves probably have blacksmiths. And we're on that way-ish.
Yeah. So,
Maybe the
unless
elves are
there's
gonna
anything
charge
else you
me,
guys
like,
want to
triple.
do, we can
Yeah, no, I think that's...
move on to the next night. How long are you going to be spending with with this clan? Are you going to be heading off the next day? Are you going to rest a couple days?
I think that honestly, staying with them until they move on is probably a pretty safe idea. We're at the point where we can kind of go hunting, bring in some food for them, still rest with them.
Sure. Yeah. So there are going to be 3 days before they leave. And sort of the camp is going to be gradually reducing over the course of those 3 days because some people are going to be heading out. But for the most part, they'll still be around.
Dati will probably take about a day and a half before introducing the idea that maybe Araga wants to go see elves.
To do what exactly with them?
What we're asked, Dati will relay a bit stiffly. And if you don't find it palatable, then you don't have to.
I'll have to speak to Ephernea. My allegiances line with the Bayaga over all others, but you fought well against the Glint, and at the very least, it would be unfortunate if you fell before you made it to where you seek to go. You helped me, perhaps I can help you.
Dati nods appreciatively and leaves it at that.
And Araga will go off and basically ask Ephernea if there's anything that she would rather Araga do here, or if it might be of their best interest to kind of drop off Dati and Chorus. Maybe get a little peek at what's going on over there.
Fernea will look thoughtful at that, and after a moment, she'll shrug and say, "We don't have much happening that demands your attention over that of any of my other hunters, and a show of faith for the Iron Pact might alleviate a potential attack or two from the elves. They are capricious, to say the least. I wouldn't mind if you go with them, but make sure you come back in one piece."
That is the plan.
Quick flirt.
Wink. Finger guns. Then...
Finger bows.
Finger crossbows.
She grabs Ephernea and they start making out vigorously on the bare rug. I'm just kidding.
You're gonna roll persuasion at
No.
But if she gets the double ones, could you imagine?
At -10.
Hey, that still counts as a success.
True.
I mean, I rolled 2 20s. No one thought that would have happened.
I did.
Wow. So yeah, Araga will go about preparing to pack up things for her trip.
Okay, great. So you can collectively gather 3 points back, or each of you can gather 3 points back, I should say, over the course of these 3 days of rest, and finish kind of rustling up what supplies you want, and then it will be time to head out. Now, when Tel Ano gave you your instructions, he did not necessarily give a rendezvous point afterward. You could go back to the meeting point where you met him in the first place, which is 4 days of... Well, actually, it's more than 4 days of travel away. It's probably 6 or so days of travel away.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, there are other places. You know that there is like another sort of spot that the agents of the Iron Pact use about a day and a half north of the Sun Temple that you could reach. You could head straight back to your home, but that would be probably a week and a half of travel, and you're not certain that you would want to bring people who are not explicitly
Roughly
sworn
undead,
into the service of the elves with you.
Yeah.
But it's kind of up to you where you go from here.
First, I think, is the closest meeting point.
So the one north of the Sun Temple would actually be a little closer than backtracking. Yeah, so that one will be, I think, 5 days of travel. The other one would be 7 or so.
Okay.
And
We're
here
gonna
I'll mark.
fight so many monsters.
So this way-ish. That's the plan.
Yeah, so right now, you are... Oh, do I have this all on the tokens layer? I do, I guess. Yeah, so you are right here, right now. And the spot where you can head is here. And then there's the old one kind of down here in Odaiova territory.
Okay.
Those are your two options.
Yeah, but the Odaiova are fucking nerds.
But what if we go straight through the pyramid?
You're welcome to do that.
Will we survive?
I couldn't tell you whether you'll survive or not. We'll just have to find out.
No, we'll definitely go. Well, second question, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
What if we walked into Joe's sinkhole?
You can show this to only me because the other two don't know. Where's
Yes.
the where would be home?
Where would be home? Do I have a way to show this to just one player?
No.
Is that a thing I can do? No. Okay.
Send him a
You could
DM.
show it to no players and then snip it and send it to me.
Yeah. I'll just tell you. That seems a little more convenient. But,
Don't
yeah,
keep secrets.
So for you, there's a spot here, a little north and just a little west of the Black Pitch Mire.
Okay, yeah, there's
that
no
you
way
know
we're
is
not
home.
going to this. We're going to this.
Sounds good. Dati will be kind of drip feeding chorus instructions on where to lead them, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
As you set
Chorus
out.
will be pretty annoyed the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We would go much faster if you would just tell me where to go.
I agree that often, in almost all cases, it is best to be open and forefront with all information. But some information is not mine to give in whole, only in part.
He just sighs at that. And did she really have to come with?
I think Araga is like trailing behind the two of you, and she has like her greatsword kind of draped over both of her shoulders, like
She's picking
in
her
its
teeth
scabbard.
with a dagger.
And she's just kind of like whistling to herself and just like clunk, 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 clunk as she's walking behind y'all.
Do you think your friends will actually show up at the sound of that?
Loud sounds are often useful for drawing eyes.
He'll just shake his head in exasperation, wondering why he has to put up with this for a second time.
Karma. So for the first
She's a
day
bitch.
of rolls, let's see. So this is actually, I'd say, 6 days of travel. So you're gonna have to make 6 rolls.
All right,
First of them,
we're doing them
is
all at
going
once.
to
Let's
be
go.
discrete at neutral. You're not doing them all at once. You're just doing one.
But we're not gonna fail once, so
just
we might as
doing
well roll
one.
them all at once.
All right. Well, you failed.
See, we should have
Failed the
rolled them all
first
at
one.
once.
Go ahead and roll 1d20 for me.
Oh my god.
Anything
mean,
but a 19.
It's gonna be a 20. See, that's like 1/5 of a 20.
4. Not bad. Not bad.
We still have 5 more days of travel.
Yeah, that's 5 more days of combat. We're gonna get so much XP.
Mm.
You guys are welcome.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Biagorn I'm getting you right here with these travel rolls.
A whole Biagorn.
Or a war donkey.
Okay. So.
That's the sound of the war donkey. They're
God.
coming.
That's not the sound of the war donkey at all.
All right, it would be more like do 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 do. Get it?
B, you're very imaginative.
Thank you. It's the only thing I have going for me.
Your mic's staticky.
Your mic
You
is
have that going
shut
for
up.
you too.
Do we still get XP if we TPK?
No, in fact, we lost 40 XP the last time we TPK'd.
Because you went reset, yeah, it's true.
I ripped the
alright,
1 XP we
so
needed.
you start heading east. And over the course of the first day, most of your time is spent on Bayaga territory. It remains familiar to Chorus and to Araga, and pretty unfamiliar to Dati. But towards the end of the day, around mid-afternoon, you kind of cross that fuzzy line because there's no exact demarcation. I mean, none of the clans have very specific boundaries between their territory and Davokar because
It's just this really long fuzzy line stretching
Mhm.
across the forest.
Yeah.
It's a line made out of Biagorns.
No, it's a line made out of an infinitely long furry centipede.
Y'all are really something today, you know that?
I
You're
don't-
rambunctious.
I don't like any of these.
Oh.
So it's an indistinct border as you cross from Bayaga land to Davokar. And perhaps an hour later, as you're sort of trudging through the forest and the light is beginning to grow a little more orange, you step out along what's not really a path so much as just sort of a convenient spindly sort of avenue through the trees that Chorus has found and is leading the three of you on. You step out and onto a scene of, wow, I really need to zoom in here. This is like
Man, that's a scene, all right.
wildly, oh dear, where, okay. Where you encounter 3 individuals.
4 is cultists, isn't it?
I don't know.
So a lot of things are PCs +1. So that's not actually a guarantee.
Is there a stag on a stone
No,
plate?
I meant 4 is in the roll of 4.
Oh, 4 is cultists. Yes, you have encountered cultists.
Are they sacrificing a stag?
They're not sacrificing a stag.
Okay, cool. 'cause I
Are they
don't really care
sacrificing
anymore.
a Biagorn?
Onto 3 people who stand together on the edge of a narrow stream, and at the head of the stream there's a flat stone table almost.
Where the fuck do they keep getting these tables?
Rises to mid-thigh or so, but it stretches like at least 7 or so feet. And you can't see the specifics of it, but it seems like there's some form of writing in the Symbar sort of cuneiform text. And below the head of this stone tablet, the water that flows into the stream
blood
is blood right now. It's this deep dark blood that flows down into the water. It's striated with darkness here and there, but for the most part, it looks very natural. And the leader of this band is sort of a barrel-chested man who is wearing only trousers right now. His body, his chest is exposed, and it's covered with runes and sigils, and his face is obscured by sort of this mask. And it's actually quite common for members of the Iron Pact to wear masks, but this is not one of those masks. It's a white bone mask with these pitch black streaks that reach down sort of across the cheekbones and then swirl back towards the corners of the eyes. And one antler, kind of like a rhinoceros, extrudes from the middle. And the other two
Rhinoceroses don't have antlers.
Round cotton robes. I said horn, didn't I? Or did I say what?
I heard antler.
Why
Maybe
are
I
you
said it.
stopping to answer something V said?
That's true. I don't even know why I play with B. I need a new player.
I'm not the one who said antler instead of horn.
All right. So there are 3 of them, and Chorus has a heart attack. Let's roll for initiative for the
Sweet, I
2
got
of
an
you that
antler.
remain.
We don't roll initiative in this game, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Really
now
empties
only
out the front a
Dati
little bit.
remains.
All right, I rolled a
Okay, so we're getting
15
rid of the
for
glare.
initiative.
Araga, Dati, Grotto. Yeah. So they kind of turn to regard you, and there's sort of an unnatural feeling that it's just like a chill all of a sudden on this otherwise warm day, as the leader with this sort of bone antler mask regards you. And their intent is clearly violent. Let's see. Roll test.
Does Araga say that out loud? They're clearly violent.
Well, I think Chorus is the one making stupid comments right now, so...
Chorus hasn't said anything.
Araga says, I will show them the meaning of violence. Thank you.
3 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Needed more flexing.
That is exactly what I'm going to write on your gravestone, Chorus.
3 out of 10. I mean, I'm honestly surprised you're giving me a
What is
gravestone.
Dati's Vigilant?
I believe it's 10. It might
Okay.
be 11. It is 10.
Gotcha.
Quick, that's 11.
So, this starts off with Chorus's turn.
Do any of them have ranged weapons as far as I can see?
No.
Okay. And he's gonna pull out his big crossbow and he gonna shoot one of them.
Who are you shooting?
The scrawny one.
Okay. Well,
What's
go ahead and roll to attack at +1.
Oof. Not even a little close.
Nice. Okay. So. Alrighty, yeah. So the coral kind of launches out, and as it punctures the robe of this scrawnier cultist that you've engaged with, you can see that beneath the robe, where the fabric tears beneath the bolt, there is a little leather padding. But it's not sufficient to deflect the coral. Instead, it punctures into the man's side, and he kind of lets out this grunt. Araga.
Araga will yank the scabbard off of her greatsword that she had draped over her shoulders, and she will charge, screaming bloodily, at The one that Chorus shot. Would I be able to cross in a movement?
Yes, one move will let you reach them.
Okay.
And
What is the modifier?
+1.
Okay.
Okie dokes. You ready? So yeah, this you connect solidly. Very solidly, in fact. And this oh, look at that. Okay. You
Paint threshold?
do trigger the plane threshold,
Yes.
You match it.
All right.
Down, or will you take a free attack?
I'll take a free attack. Blah.
Okay. So you have killed this person.
So Araga kind of runs forward and she makes like a sweeping motion. And I imagine it's like hitting someone with a baseball bat to the ribs, except it's a giant fucking sword. And then like as they're kind of like stumbling, she pulls it back and uses the centrifugal force of swinging around to cleave their head off.
That was rude.
Yeah, well... Cultists be culting, and Aragas be Aragaring.
Aragaring.
Yeah.
We did it. It was all that one damage I did.
You did more than 1 damage. You did 2 damage. So this cultist, is cleanly, well, maybe not cleanly, but decapitated. And so, killed.
Not a single drop of blood anywhere. It was so clean.
That does move us down to the cultist's turn. So the one who remains of the two, assistant cultists, mini cultists, you might say.
Oh
Baby
god, no.
cultists.
Baby
Intern.
cultists.
Baby
Intern
cultist.
cultist.
Cultist Senior and Cultist Junior.
Sort of lets out this aggrieved cry as Araga beheads her companion, and she'll dash forward, and she's kind of wielding this cudgel with a few metal spikes sticking out of the ball end of it, and she will just lash out and try to hit Araga. So go ahead and roll to defend against a 0.
Hey.
Nice.
Araga deftly defends, and it is Dati's turn.
Dati
Hero.
will rip free a dagger and move closer to the one that is assaulting Araga and try and slip under its guard while letting out a hoarse shriek.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack at +1.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, that was very close. That is a successful hit, so you connect.
Now, am I flanking?
Yeah, I would say that you are.
Hey!
I had to sit here and think for a moment of like, what would a horse shriek sound like? Like, can horses shriek?
Horses can shriek. It is not pleasant. So, it is now Grotto's turn.
Grotto will let out a low growl and charge the head cultist.
Okay. So, go right ahead and roll to attack the head cultist at +5.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, roll it again.
Mm-hmm. Same modifier?
Yep. Okay. So you do manage to attack. The first damage is what goes through.
Okay.
And that will do an amount of damage.
Okay.
So yeah, you're good.
Man, imagine how much
much is
safer
that?
we would have been if Kory had just had a grotto
7.
from the beginning.
No.
And we're going to reduce that by much. Cool. And it is the leader's turn. So
Oh shit. I didn't realize you could scroll down the turn order.
So the cultist leader kind of staggers back with the onslaught from Grotto, but he braces himself, and you can see that his mask cuts off kind of at the upper lip. And when he opens his mouth, there's like this eerie red, and it is red, it is not the orange glint color, but there's a reddish glow within his mouth. And as he looks down towards Grotto, he breathes out, and just a wave of fire pours forth at the Biagorn. So go ahead and have Grotto roll. That's an accurate minus. So what is Grotto's a quick? Or have
Grotto.
have Grotto roll quick at just flat.
Is this quick, not defense?
Yes.
Okay.
This is quick. Okay. So Grotto is going to take 6 points of flaming or of fire damage.
Subtracted by berserking, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Berserking just always applies. So just 3 points. And as it connects, the occultist leader turns his head, and this spew of flame kind of sweeps over to the melee nearby.
Oh.
And I think Dati is closer, having flanked the cultist.
Yeah.
So have Dati roll quick.
He's a flamethrower.
At what?
Flat.
Ooh.
Okay. So Dati only takes 3 points of flaming damage.
Okay.
And he is no longer able to continue attacking with it. But that is his turn. We will go up to Chorus.
That's very dangerous. I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my full turn to attempt to take away a combat action.
Sure.
What is my chance to hit?
Your chance to hit is +5. Okay, go ahead and roll it again.
Oh god. That was a mistake. I hit the up arrow to just try and copy paste and re-put the arrow in.
Okay, good. Yeah, so you connect, and that is going to do not much damage, which kills him.
Ooh. I shoot him right in his open mouth.
Yeah, great. And there's still kind of this smoke roiling from the inside of his mouth, and all of a sudden, of course, his coral just sort of disappears right into it.
Nice.
His head snaps back, and he totters off his heels onto the ground, dead. Now, the last cultist, seeing the cult leader die, is going to try and turn tail and run away. So that will incur free tax from both Dati and Araga.
Hell yeah. Is this a +1?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Ooh. Oh wait, that was not a
That was
critical hit. That was
damage.
1 damage.
Yeah.
Less ooh. Did they still get the 1d4s?
So since they're running away, I don't think it really counts as being flanked anymore necessarily, but
Pain
Does Araga
threshold
just
was
kill him
increased.
anyway?
2 is 6. Yeah, which does trigger the plane threshold from Araga.
This is your moment.
And
Decapitate all of them.
yeah, so they're not dead, but you do trigger the pain threshold if you wanted to just get another attack in or send her onto the ground.
I'm gonna send them onto the ground because it's my turn next.
Okay, yeah, go for it. It's your turn, and they are prone.
Okay. I will attack with my greatsword.
Okay, still +1, but you have advantage, so it'll actually be +3.
This is your moment.
Oh gosh, it is.
Yeah. So
Just a golf swing.
You have killed her.
So Araga kind of wheels her greatsword around as they're trying to flee, gets them in the back of the leg, and it tumbles them to the ground. She swings her greatsword up and drives the point of it straight into the back of their neck, and you can hear this sickening crunch as their spinal cord is severed, and they are super dead now.
Yes.
All right, excellent.
Or not. They don't have a life to look forward to.
No, they're dead.
No, she's just super dead. Yeah, so all of them are dead, and you are kind of left in this small area where this ritual has been taking place. You notice that this table type stone that has been spewing out blood, the blood clears and turns to water as the cult leader dies. And you're kind of left to move on or to loot them, whatever you like.
Hey, Kory.
Yeah.
I can't remember. What happened to all of our throwing knives?
We threw some of them at the cultist chasing not the cultist, at the Blightborn chasing the cart. Maybe all of them. There was a lot of throwing things at Blightborn chasing a cart.
But we only threw like 2. We still have like 5 left.
Well, then you probably have 3. With that math.
I didn't know if you had sold them or anything.
Nah, Dati is definitely not going to loot these things, and she'll recommend don't touch them.
Chorus is going to loot these things.
But she doesn't stop it.
Okay. So go ahead and roll 3d10. Okay, so you get 14 shillings from them. Otherwise, there isn't much to take other than the this kind of eerie mask that the cult leader is wearing. If you want to take that, you may.
Nah, it's kind of broken.
Looking at the shrine, does it look like there might be an easy way to break this table thing?
So it's just stone. There is quite a bit of writing around it. Given that it's stone, though, you would have to go to work to break it if you wanted to try.
Or tip it over and let gravity do the work. Well, no, that's more concrete than stone.
Araga will not bother with it. She'll wipe her blade, find her scabbard that she threw aside, and gesture to the path they were taking.
Uh-huh.
Chorus will uncover his one not broken bolt.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just pry it right on out of that guy. And so the rest of your day's travel is uneventful. There isn't much. It doesn't take you long to reach a suitable campsite following that same sort of winding path that Chorus has been following. There's a more spindly route to the north after an hour or so that leads to kind of a secluded that he's used maybe once or twice before. And it's here that you settle down for a night of rest.
Yeah, I think Dati will probably apply one of the purchased herbal cures to her scalded wound
Yeah.
overnight.
Just covered in burns over there.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
How's the Biogorn?
It took 3 damage.
Licking her wounds.
So if you want to make your bushcraft rolls,
Oh, yeah.
you may do so.
I craft some bushes.
Nice.
Grotto digs constantly into the ground and then suddenly comes up with a small rodent in her mouth, which she shakes to death repeatedly and then chews into.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone but Dati is able to find some form of game to snack upon, but the berry situation is a little sparse here, and no nice roots, no mushrooms that won't kill you. So she's forced to have a ration. The night passes quietly. Otherwise, it's fairly temperate right now where you're traveling, and that allows you to kind of just enjoy the evening. You can all recover a hit point overnight. Dati, I guess you get just 1 point since you don't have anyone with like Medicus, right?
Yeah.
For the herbal? Okay.
Almost back to full gang.
I wonder what that's like.
I'd say you'll know, but I don't want to lie.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah.
So the second day of travel begins. Out of 6, you can roll discreet chorus. It's going to be flat since you did run into something this past day.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, it passes quietly. It's much of the same, kind of cutting your way east, periodically asking Dati, are we still going the right way? Dati periodically saying yes. And the terrain remains relatively easy. Plenty of foliage, occasional streams that you pass. More or less everything is in ample supply. And it's certainly one of those days that makes you think that Davokar is really nice, that the forest is pleasant, that there's no looming presence, no darkness to contend with, just a lot of raw natural beauty.
Aside from all the death and murder, Chorus generally likes the forest.
Mm-hmm.
The forest almost never bullies him except when it does.
Yeah, except for when it makes him have to meet Araga again.
So you get to another camp, and yeah, you can settle in for the night. Go ahead and make your bushcraft rolls for the day.
Oh.
Oof.
Okay. Everyone but Dati is able to.
No?
Araga.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at Dati's name and I just wrote it. Last one. Everyone but Araga this time
He's just used to Dati failing.
is able to find Araga this time. That has to rely on a ration. Everyone else kind of sustains for themselves. And yeah, you have another night of rest. You can all recover just a little more damage.
Neat.
We full gang.
All right, day 3, Chorus. Go ahead and roll at -1.
I mean, we're gonna fight now. Now that I've hit full health, I have to get hurt.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll 1d20.
It's how the law works. It wasn't a 19.
It was not a 19.
I'm
You
so
are
happy.
correct.
It's not a 19. Though we've never met an 18 before, I don't think, so it might also not take damage.
Unless 18 was the wisp. I don't remember what the wisp was.
Frostlights were 17.
Oh.
18 is a baby necromage.
Yeah. Okay, so
Equally terrifying, it just has chubby baby hands.
Necro baby.
pull these guys up.
I think today, as we're walking, Araga has decided that today is a good day to pick on Chorus. So she's
How does she pick up?
bringing up not so fond memories of childhood teasing, especially trying to educate Dati on some of his history. And it's not very nice. Araga is a bully.
It's colored in a certain fashion to make Chorus look as bad as possible as often as possible.
Oh yeah, and it's 100% not true. It's a very skewed perspective of a story. And yeah, there's a lot of clunking as she stomps along behind them. So
Dati does her best to give Chorus ameliorating looks as the story goes on, but does not interrupt.
How does Chorus react?
Chorus is left.
The stoic approach.
Yes. After he doesn't respond,
Uh-huh.
I think she goes a little quiet. She looks a bit ashamed. She had obviously been doing it for a reaction.
Right.
And she probably overcompensates by awkwardly singing.
Oh god. What does she sing?
She sings one of the renowned hunting chants of the Bayaga tribe.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like a morale booster, the kind that you sing from the diaphragm.
So there's definitely a bit of an awkward vibe in the group over the course of the day, with Araga's sort of attempts at banter just falling utterly flat.
Yeah.
She's then singing, and it's just not great. Everyone's a little on edge.
Morale -1.
Morale -1.
Shit.
Yeah. So, around late morning, the path that you have been taking becomes a little more restrictive. It's been favorable all this time, a little windy, but for the most part cleared of terrain, and it's been comfortable and it's been easy to travel on for days at a time. So Chorus has been keeping that route as he continues going east. And then, not suddenly, but it just kind of creeps up on you. All of a sudden you realize that the reason that this path has been so comfortable is that it must be some form of ancient road from a civilization that's been gone for who knows how long. And the reason that becomes clear is that the terrain rises to the left and the right, and almost before you realize it, you're sort of walking on this aged cobblestone that begins to show through the dirt and the vines that have covered it up to this point. And on the left and the right, what looked like just swells and terrain now present themselves to be ruins of ancient stonework that shows through, mostly buried, mostly hidden, and certainly not a site necessarily. You can't find, a city to be found, but it's encroaching. Your visibility is low, and maybe only a few minutes after that, you spot sort of this broken tower on the left. It's squat and it's very wide. You can say maybe 10 paces across or so. And as you draw nearer, Araga might just stop singing at some point along this way, as sort of this eerie gloom kind of settles in on each of you. And there's an unspoken desire to move along and get back towards the more natural portions of the forest as quickly as possible. But as you pass this tower, you hear... Oh, actually...
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
He's got to figure out if we hear it because of someone singing. Their loud diaphragm singing.
Find this roll.
It's a hunting work song, okay? March. March.
Oops. Oh dear. This PDF is not cooperating.
Uh-oh. Araga's trying to make us do a death march, Kory.
Gregorian Death March.
Oh, okay. So the attacker's lowest discrete by the... Who has the highest vigilant?
Me, easily.
Okay,
15.
cool. So go ahead and roll your vigilant, modified by... Oh dear, this is taking a little while to load. Problem with having like 4 PDFs open is that
Just take screenshots
sometimes
of every single page.
scrolling through hundreds of pages can be a
Fine.
little-
Take your time. In the meanwhile, Araga will sing her Death March song.
In the meanwhile.
Baby Necromage, do 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 do. Baby
Chorus
Necromage,
hates
do
this
do
song.
do do.
Oh my goodness.
Dati, are we still on the correct path? You could have told us
For
there were
The first
ruins
time, Dati does not answer immediately with a yes, but instead looks uncertain.
Yeah. And like the course that you've been taking has been general. So you know generally you are going in the right direction, but certainly
The
don't
right
think-
path is defined as we haven't walked into a corruption hellhole and are still heading east for the foreseeable 3
here. Alright,
days.
so then we're on the wrong path.
But Dottie doesn't express that. Just
Mhm.
That's just what she's thinking.
We found the corruption.
Chorus,
Yes?
go ahead and roll discreet -1.
Discreet?
No, sorry, vigilant -1. Okay, you succeed. So you are not surprised, even with Araga's somewhat nervous singing to try and rouse her own spirits or those of the group, who knows.
Probably because he hates the song and he's trying to block it out.
You hear the scrabble of rock upon rock, and it alerts you as you pivot about to see only a few feet away a group of 4 figures closing with you with sort of pittered iron weapons. You see swords, you see maces, you see a hatchet. And it probably comes as a little bit of a shock that these people are clearly dead. I don't know how many of you have fought the undead before. Dottie certainly has. The rest of you may have only heard of them. You might have had experiences. But it's never something you get comfortable with. Go ahead.
I think his chorus would be roaming around. Anything he would have found solo, he would have probably just ran away from or left.
Right. Yeah, that would be very smart.
I don't think Araga has ever seen undead.
Yeah. So you're looking suddenly in the faces of people with very different structures. Like their complexion is kind of leathery and gray, but their faces are a little longer than most of the peoples you've seen. And they have these pronounced features that are made a little more bizarre by the stretched, withered skin, and the way that for these 4 individuals, their noses are pretty much gone. They've just withered away, so that's unnaturally flat. and they're wearing this armor that has barely survived. It looks like leather that in some parts has almost stiffened to hardness, and in other parts is rotted away, and in other parts is reinforced by studs of metal. But they have shields, they have weapons, and they're virtually upon you before the sound of their approach cuts through and draws your awareness. So, we'll move these cultists off of the turn order.
Dati, looks like we get to help you cleanse out some more of Davokar.
That's the warning.
And he would follow that up with like, we've got monsters approaching, armed.
Dati groans.
Yes. So, Chorus, it is your turn.
He would have readied his crossbow upon seeing people charging at them.
Mm-hmm.
How many are there?
There are 4.
4. Does one look particularly stronger than the others, like how there's normally a leader and minors, or do they all seem like?
Go ahead and roll Vigilant -1. Yeah, so it's difficult to tell. I mean, they're borderline inhuman to you, and they are closing upon you as a band. Nothing seems to mark one out from the others, aside from their variety of weapons, but they seem functionally quite similar. You definitely, at least at a superficial guess, would not think that any of them are a leader.
Do any of them have a long weapon, like a spear or a lance?
No, they're all using kind of just one-handed weapons.
All right, then he is going to load a hammerhead bolt and fire it at just like the middle of the pack.
Okay, and what does the hammerhead bolt do?
You minus the damage with their strength, and if it succeeds it, they don't get to take any actions next turn.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Go ahead and do it.
What is my chance to hit?
0.
Well,
You have no
why is he
chance to
rolling?
hit. Yeah.
All right, so 7 minus their strength, and that equals or beats it. They
So
don't-
basically, if their strength surpasses the damage, they
Yes.
can continue acting?
Yeah.
And it's like
Would-
an AoE rather than a single target?
It's single target.
Oh, it is. Okay, so you're just getting one of them.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes. So that does not outstrip
Yeah.
their strength.
That's basically why I haven't used it yet, because unless you roll a perfect, almost anything you ever hit is never.
Yeah, most things are gonna have more strength than that. I see. So does it do the damage still?
Yes, it still does the damage.
Okay, cool.
And it didn't break.
Yeah. All right, on to Araga.
Yes, it is Araga's turn.
Okay. Araga looks frightened. She loses some color in her face as she pulls out her greatsword and readies it, and she looks over at Dati and Chorus and says, are we fighting or running?
Thunk.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything to her.
Dati will just take a moment. They're not on them yet, so she'll kind of take a moment to just make sure nothing else is clearly visible and about to assault them.
Yeah, no, they are virtually upon you.
Yeah, but you know,
But
she's
you do
not
have
in the
a-
middle of
you do have
combat.
a
Yeah.
moment to glance around, yeah.
Yeah.
And you do not
And-
see anything else.
These we can handle.
Okay.
Come on, you love killing. They've done most of the work for you already.
So the one that Chorus shot, Araga will bring her greatsword down upon.
Okay, so she's going to move up to them and attack that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack at 0.
Ooh. Nice slap.
Thanks. Slap, slap, slap.
You got them big slaps.
Okay, yeah, you carve into this undead, and it, the great sword cleaves through this decayed armor with ease, and cuts deep, really through the shoulder into the chest, and you know that this is what would cripple any ordinary man, but that this is an undead person. Its eyes are kind of raptly fixed upon Araga as she comes closer and attacks, and there's no change in expression at all. There's nothing but a little hiss as the greatsword kind of bites deep into its skin. Dati.
Dati will get her club out and move to help Araga with the perhaps ideally removal of this undead and the removal of her greatsword from this undead.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack it. Let's see. Nice.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, so you do kill this undead. It just kind of sustains too much damage and collapses as you kind of bash the side of its head in, I imagine.
Yeah. She actually, I think, center. So it's half impaled on the greatsword, so she kind of just tries to smash it off of the greatsword center mass.
Sure, yeah, and it kind of tears through bones that crack as this divide made by the greatsword is suddenly torn open even further. And there's kind of this puff of dust as the body strikes the ground and collapses on itself, and a very stale smell enters the air. It is their turn now. So one will kind of step forward over its fallen comrade and lash out at Araga, who should roll to defend at -5.
It's not good. I don't like that. Oh!
Okay, roll to confirm.
Oh. Fuck.
Okay. Well, this undead, it's hard to tell what gender it was. It's just an it at this point. It's all dried and withered, but you can tell that whatever powers it is clearly strong, because it draws up this pitted scimitar, and the top 2 or so inches of the blade are just missing. It's gone from some past conflict or just from time. But that doesn't stop it from lashing out and punching deep through Araga's armor to penetrate ribs and just gouge just a painful blow through her side. Because it critically hits you, that gives it the opportunity to either knock you down or take a free attack. It also is going to deal, because you negated 1 point of damage. Wow, you really min-maxed that roll.
Yeah.
It's going to do 6 points of damage. Does that hit your pain threshold?
No.
All right, nice. So it deals 6 points of damage, and it will just kind of lean in and bash Araga with its shoulder, sending her onto the ground.
Owie.
So,
Owie. Now you know she's hurt.
a second undead will advance, and it will seek to engage Dati. So you're going to try to persuade it not to, I guess.
Yeah, so she's definitely
it's undead, but it doesn't actually have any traits that make it immune to force of will or things.
Yeah. So she spends just the entire time it approaches trying to ward it off, you with a torch, but instead with a club with spikes in it.
Now, it hasn't actually committed to a move action to attack you since they were together and you moved up onto it.
Yeah.
Just for the clarity of what it might do should you succeed.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll. It's modified by their resolute, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll at -3. Okay, you succeed, yeah. So this undead kind of assesses Dati and the cudgel and maybe decides that it's just would be too much work to try and engage through it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead it will step past Dati and move on towards Chorus and
Bonk?
Grotto.
Why are you
Yeah, you can try to attack it, I suppose.
Bonk.
Yeah, okay. So you do successfully hit it, but it kind of doesn't look back at you or seem too bothered.
The downside of waving your club like a torch is you don't really get a lot of momentum on this.
So it will close with Chorus and engage him. So Chorus, go ahead and roll to defend at -5.
Why is my life just Dottie sent something to kill me?
I explained this PC concept mechanically very explicitly so everyone would know 100% ahead of the time exactly what it does.
Yeah, but I expected a lot more of, like, we had another front line for it to go to. And then it's just been a lot of, they go for me and stab me.
Well, it's because your front line keeps going down.
Yeah. Okay, so that it misses. Horus is able to duck away from the stiff blow from this undead creation. And the last one will go. So wait, nope, sorry.
We've killed one.
Right.
Two
I wrote the your attack on the one that went by on the wrong one. Okay, yeah, so now the last one will go. It will advance. It will similarly try to engage Dati. So go ahead and try to dissuade it at -3. Yeah, and this one will likewise
Bonk?
move on. Yeah, go ahead and roll to attack at 0 again.
Bonk!
You do hit it. It moves on, and this one will engage the bear.
Okay.
So it will walk up to Grotto and attack. Have Grotto roll to defend at -5.
Okay. Now, mechanically, Grotto probably isn't raging yet.
Right. So this time it will just do armor, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled that. Grotto will take 3 points of damage through the armor.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. And now Grotto starts raging.
And it is Grotto's turn.
Grotto uses Raging Bear Claws.
Yeah.
Is it super effective?
Time will tell. Go ahead and roll to attack at a 0. Well, see if you can confirm that.
I wish that was more damage, but...
Yeah, well, you know.
Okay, nice. So it is
super effective.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So the claws kind of rend through undead flesh and armor with no reaction. Turn order cycles around. It is Chorus. You have an undead staring in your face, trying to skewer you, but so far you have managed to avoid being skewered.
Well then, like how every single fight ever goes for Chorus. He puts down his crossbow and pulls out a dagger, because he has no other option right now.
Knife him. Just knife him.
Okay, yeah, so roll to attack at 0. You miss.
Yes.
Okay. It is Araga's turn. Araga is prone on the ground. She was briefly overwhelmed by pain, but is sort of coming to her senses.
Okay. What do I need to do to stand up?
I think you need to make a quick
You
test.
pass it quick, or you have to spend your movement.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, basically, you need to, get back up on your feet with a successful quick test to make it just a movement, or it consumes your turn to get up.
So I have to do a quick test either way, right?
If you want to get up, yep. You can stay prone.
I don't want to stay.
Crab battle.
Is that 0?
Yeah, just quick. Just really quick. There you
Okay.
go. Very nice. So you are able to climb to your feet, which means you're no longer at disadvantage, and you still have a combat action left.
Okay. Are any of them close enough to me? Because you said they had pretty much
One
been
is
on
directly
us, right?
standing over you, still.
Okay, I will hit that one.
Okay.
At
0.
oh my
Oh,
fucking
God.
god.
Okay. Roll again. Well, fortunately, it is not a critical miss, which means you do not incur 3 attacks.
I wish you
I
had
am
that first roll.
so good at this game, y'all.
Oof.
God damn it.
Okay, that is Araga's turn. Dati.
Dati will give a slightly concerned look back to Chorus.
She's not necessarily engaged right now, so she can kind of move in on anyone who wants.
She will definitely try to save Chorus.
Okay.
By sneaking up behind the undead and bop.
Yeah, so you will be flanking it, so you can roll to attack a +2. Nice. Roll D4.
What? Unknown command slash. Oh, it was /roll 1 die 4.
Yeah, yes. Okay, nice. That's a solid chunk of damage right there. That is 11 points of damage. Let's see, it was this person here. And that's 11.
It explodes in the bone dust, and we all lived happily ever
Cool.
after.
Yeah, so you get a really solid whack on this undead. It's kind of a ringing noise. There's a crunch of bone that just shatters at the blow. And it doesn't so much as turn to regard you, it is focused on Chorus. It is the undead's
Really?
turn. We will start with the undead assailing Araga. Go ahead and roll to defend at -5.
I believe in you, Araga.
7
Hey.
damage negated. Very nice. You don't take any damage.
I believe in your armor,
Yeah,
Araga.
so it connects with you solidly again, but this time the chainmail, the links hold, and the blade. I mean, it hurts, right? Like it's a bruising blow through the armor, but Araga's fine for the time being.
Hell yeah.
We will move on to the one attacking Chorus. Go ahead and roll to defend. -5.
You know, I had a talk with this guy. He seemed pretty chill. He said he was going to skip his turn, honestly.
Oh wow, that was considerate of him.
See, here's how he misses.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll the confirm that.
Here's how he misses.
Okay, so he critically hits you. So go ahead and take 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Does that hit your pain threshold?
Nope.
Okay, nice. And
This is why we put 1 point in strength, boys.
yeah, honestly, it's a big money buy right there. Yeah, so it will likewise kind of smash into Chorus as so it cuts in from the right, and its axe, well, it's more of a hatchet than an axe, kind of just bites through armor, catches him in the midsection, and then it leans in and just smashes its left shoulder into his body, and sends him sprawling out on the ground before it. So Chorus will be prone. It is now the last undead's turn, which will continue to lash out at Grotto. So have Grotto go ahead and roll to defend at -5.
It is a 1.25% chance that he could defend.
Yeah. Okay, enraging, so you did negate. So Grotto takes 4 points of damage.
Eat health. Grotto is definitely enjoying this combat. Far less than the last time.
The last one where just nothing ever hurt him.
He's like, why aren't you bonking? Why you cut?
Okay, yeah, so this undead warrior kind of just lashes out at Grotto and cuts through the fur here and there, just with its kind of raw strength and disregard for everything. It is Grotto's turn.
I blame whoever rolled an 18.
I'm sad over the fact that we have yet to roll a beast combat.
It will
That
never
is
happen.
surprising.
We only fight undead and cultists.
And necromages.
I count them as
Necromages are
undead.
And Blightborn.
So it looks like Grotto missed. Okay. It is Corse's turn.
Grotto, I'm really gonna need you to not miss.
Does Corse try to get up?
What's his other option?
Just stay on the ground.
Can he disguise himself with pebbles on the ground and not get stabbed?
You may try if you want. I don't advise that course of action.
Somebody's been watching too much Hunger Games.
Okay, so Chorus is just in a lot of pain right now. So getting up demands full concentration and full time. But fortunately, he is not disadvantaged any. Wow.
Oh god, the Saracorn is back.
Yeah. So Chorus gets kind of staggers back onto his feet, and that was his combat action. You could try to move away if you want. Don't recommend it though. I mean, it's up to you. You still have a movement action.
If I get hit, there's only a 75% chance I go down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 50% chance on whether or not I get hit, and then a 75% chance that I just instantly die.
Well,
Okay. Well, go down.
No, the next time I go down, I'm rolling a 20.
Okay. So do you stay put?
Yep.
Okay. It is Araga's turn.
Araga will try to smash into the one she missed before.
Roll
Araga.
2 seconds here.
Araga smash? Question mark.
Okay. She does connect. It does hit. It similar to its blow upon her. It doesn't look as though that really achieves very much. It is Dotti's turn.
Dottie Bop.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll the bop. It yeah, very solid. And let's see. That is yeah, that takes it down.
Okay. Dottie smashes the thing to the ground,
Mhm.
looks to Chorus, jerks her head at the ones remaining, and says, "Shh, not shoot, because shooting hasn't been invented yet. Not fire, because firing hasn't been invented yet. Instead, despite it
Loose thine arrows of virtuous
Not.
justice.
not being fully accurate to a crossbow, she says, loose."
Uh-huh. Okay. Sounds good. It is the undead's turn. We will start with the one assailing Araga. Go ahead and roll to defend at -5.
Don't go down, big girl.
Hey, roll to do it again.
Good enough.
So she's able to kind of duck out of the way of this blow from this pitted and centaur, and she remains unscathed.
Neat.
The other one is attacking Grotto. Grotto, go ahead and roll to defend at -5.
It's technically possible.
The law of large numbers, if you just roll it enough.
Okay. Roll your 1d4.
A It wasn't technically possible this
Is
time.
Grotto down?
Grotto takes
No.
5 points of damage.
Grotto has 3 health.
Grotto's got a lot of health.
Grotto does got a lot.
Grotto does have a lot of health. Grotto, it is your turn.
Grotto whines a bit as the sword, axe, what have you, bites into her and slashes back,
Uh-huh.
though she just bats at a bit of armor
Mhm.
ineffectually.
Yeah. That armor kind of pops off and goes bouncing across the cobblestone.
She got too fat from all that honey.
The
It
bees.
is now Chorus's turn.
Chorus picks up his crossbow
Uh-huh.
and shoots at the one attacking Grotto with
Okay.
his last hammerhead bolt.
Okay. Go right ahead. It's at 0. Stop.
I'm getting the feeling that a 5 does not beat strength.
Correct. 5
don't-
is
just
10
allow it.
off, in fact.
Oof, but at least the bolt did not break.
Okay. Araga, it is your turn. Wow. Go ahead and confirm. Hey, there you
Yes.
go.
Oh.
Big
Damage.
slap.
Oh, that's not good. That's not what I was supposed to write there. Cool.
Stella, if Undead had a threshold, you would have hit it gloriously.
Yeah, you absolutely would have hit it if it had a pain threshold. Yeah, so Araga manages to kind of shake off what lingers from the felling blow earlier, and she deals as good as she got. She cleaves heavily into this undead and just opens up a massive gaping wound that it does not react to whatsoever. Dati, it is your turn.
Well, Dati looks around and realizes that the only one remaining, or wait, is the one with Araga remain?
Yes, yeah, it's still fine.
And-
There's one with Araga and one with Grotto.
All right. Nevertheless, she will go.
Skeletons are kind of hard to kill with a crossbow.
Yeah, they are.
You're lucky they don't have like pierce resistance or something.
She will go and aid Grotto.
Okay. Yeah, so you are flanking this thing now. Go ahead and roll 2 attack at +2. Okay. And 1d4. Okay, that is 7. Cool. Yeah, so that's a solid hit, but it does not fall. It is the undead's turn. The one engaging Araga will attack her. And it missed. Excellent. The one attacking Grotto will attack her. Go ahead and roll to defend. -5.
Still technically possible.
Hey, 1d4. Okay. Grotto takes 2 points of damage.
Oh, wow.
Living on a
Oh.
prayer.
Man. Grotto really understands our team motto.
It is now Grotto's turn.
Grotto looks relieved at aid as much as a bloody, raging, angry bear beast can, and slashes away.
Uh-oh. Okay. She just misses, fortunately.
And back to
It's,
Chorus.
an angry, bleeding Biagorn. Chorus, it's your turn.
All right, it's time for a normal shot on.
Okay.
This time, now that Grotto has Dati helping them, he's gonna shoot at the one that Araga's fighting.
Okay. Roll 2 attack at 0. Solid. Some damage. 7. Cool. And Araga, it is your turn.
Ugh.
She is unable to connect.
I think she's throwing all her weight into her blows.
Yeah, just
So it's
every
either
full out.
Hit or miss, yeah. Dirt goes flying everywhere.
Dati.
Dati will cast a concerned look as the blow hits the ground, but keep her focus on the one in front of her.
Nice. Go ahead and roll to confirm. It is a critical blow. And this takes it down. This takes it down in dramatic fashion.
Okay. She breathes a sigh of relief as at least the threat she's facing is dealt with.
Yeah.
I suppose actually she has a move action, so she will move over to the other one.
Okay. And it is the other one's turn. It will continue bearing down upon Araga, even as its companions have fallen. Go ahead and roll to defend at -5. It hits. You negate 3 damage. You take 4.
I'm down.
Okay, Araga falls. So yeah, it connects. It catches her low, kind of on the thigh, and bites deep into her leg. And as Araga kind of tumbles to the ground, the pain is too much. She blacks out for a moment. Grotto.
Grotto pulls into the fucking thing and kills it.
Okay. Roll to attack at +2.
Big weave.
Okay, 1d4. Alright. That does kill it.
Stella, this is why you just say what's going to happen. And
Listen,
then it happens.
no. That has been my tactic this entire game with all of my characters, and none of my characters have survived.
I don't know why you're having trouble.
Apparently, I just need to play a bear.
You guys are playing bears.
I mean, you could have taken the dark blood.
Okay, here we are.
Yeah. So yeah, combat ends. You have dispatched all of the undead, with only one
Near
KO.
casualty.
So that's good. I think we probably have one roll for Araga before she gets stabilized by people. So go ahead and roll 1d20.
Oh god.
Wow, really? You're gonna do this? You're gonna do me like that? Fucking.
Ah!
You're fine. You're okay. Yeah.
Kory,
It takes like a turn before people can kind of get to a point to actually staunch your wounds. And they are ragged wounds, so there's quite a bit of blood, but you have bandages and herbal cures. Do you use herbal cures on her?
Yes.
Okay. So Araga, you can come up with 1d4 HP, and then get 1 from the cure. Okay, so 4 points of health. It's pretty good. And quiet settles. There's no sound in the immediate region around you. There are people no, there are no people. Sorry, I was thinking aloud. So there's no sound from the surrounding area. You can't tell anything in terms of like wildlife nearby. Everything that you had heard before has fled from this engagement and the unnatural presence of these
What
undead.
time is it?
It is it was late morning, actually. So you can choose to retire here if you want. It isn't a terrible place. It's sheltered. There is a ruin/tower that you could, hole up in, or you can continue.
Definitely, that's what Dotti's going to do once they get Araga stabilized enough. Is kind of lead the way over towards the most stable-looking structure.
Yeah,
and
the most
skeletons.
You loot the skeletons.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So for looting, Chorus, go ahead and roll Vigilant.
Flat.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we have a loot goblin.
Oh,
We need a better loot goblin.
fucking skeleton.
That's fine.
Nothing but
So,
bone.
and Dati, go ahead and roll Vigilant flat as well. Chorus, you get 4d10 ore tags.
That could be 4 shilling. It's 1 shilling.
18 ore tags, yeah, almost 2 shillings. Still need that vigilant check from
Daddy.
Dati
Oh,
did.
sorry. I didn't hear that.
Corey failed his
I
vigilant
figured
check.
you
Hear
might
that.
not have noticed. Okay, great. So you do get a really good sense. This tower, as said, it rises a very short distance because it is broken up, but it provides shelter. And as you do a sweep of the area, you can tell that there are no passages that lead elsewhere. It seems secure. It does not seem like you're kind of camping out on the foyer of something much more sinister. So you're able to kind of maneuver Araga there, and
What
kinda
about
take it for
vertically?
granted that vertically, so above you, it just kind of opens out into the sky above. But
Okay.
the view is a little choked because there are other ruins around you that the greenery has built up around. So it's a narrow view of the sky. And
Alright.
below you is solid ground. No underground passages or any access to any underground passages.
At least there's no hanging skeletons tied to the ceiling by a grappling hook.
Correct. There are none of those above you. And since it is hitting 8 o'clock right now, and I'm about to go on the clock, we can kind of have the scene fade that you're kind of injured but victorious travelers are going to camp out and recuperate themselves just a little bit over the course of the day. And we'll pick up with the rest of the travel rolls next session.
Okay.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you. We're going to do some shout outs real quick, and then we're going to go find somebody to raid. And we'll start off with Vertigo Cross.
Hi, I'm Vertigo of the Cross. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I play a mix of various games, whatever I think would be fun and interesting. Mondays, you can find me and Stella playing saucy, story-based traumatic video games. Wednesdays, I'm here, Symbaroum, being the one who gets the loot. And occasionally on Fridays, I'll gather a group of other friends and streamers and we'll play classic games as a sort of party stream.
Excellent. Thank you. And next we've got Kory.
Hi. Yes. I am a professional Canadian TV reviewer, and I stream my reviews over at twitch.tv/dreamyignorantsmoothie
Thanks. And last but certainly not least, Kevin, Obdurant.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Obdurant Alcade. I am here on Wednesdays, kind of early in the day these days, playing Symbaroum. Every other Friday, I'm here playing Dark Matter. I do not stream by myself. I'm usually here on Thursdays for Destiny raids, but I'm working right now when that happens, so I'm not presently. But that's it. That's everything about me.
Excellent, thank you. And we do have Dark Matter this week, so please join us at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on this coming Friday, and we're going to be playing some sci-fi D&D. Hope to see y'all there. If you want to catch more Symbaroum, we are going to be playing next week at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And hope all y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye-bye!
Hello!